Hello there, my name is Rex Tasigar and welcome back to the video. Now today I'm going to be talking about the problems that are happening within Britain right now, and just to get all off my chest in regards to my concerns, talk about the problems that's been recently been happening, and well, the absolute shitfest that Britain is in, and of how I feel like, why the fuck am I living in this country? Why the fuck? I'm better off moving to somewhere else, because at least then they have my concerns a bit better than what the British government has, or the entire parliament has. Now, the problems with Britain right now is that we are under the massive lockdowns in regards to the sniffs, and the fact that this whole thing's been blown up proportions, and with more and more evidence coming out, and the fact that statistics are now showing that Public Health England has indeed lied. They reported statistics wrong, but also falsely, as anyone who tested positive, even if it's 2 months, and before they pass away, they get counted as COVID. And the fact that the whole registering of the COVID victim is, quite frankly, stupid. It's too broad, and quite frankly, I feel it's terrible. Of course, this has resulted in a massive lockdown that the Conservative government is keeping going on. Now, with regards to the COVID, with regards to the sniffles, the tests that have been coming out, individual doctors, many of them that speak out, get their jobs wiped out. I wonder why. Have been saying that these tests, if you test it in a glass of water numerous times, even that glass of water stayed the same. Nothing was added, nothing was taken away, pure glass of water. It will test positive after you test it over and over again. That shows that the test itself is indeed flawed, and figures are saying that the highest point of the test results being accurate is 80%. Well, that means there's 20% misdiagnosis. Oh hell, that might be a top margin. That might be a top margin in terms of number of tests. We don't know. The government ain't being clear about it. They do not want to be clear about it. They want to keep this going as long as possible. But let me tell you, they will completely lament this 2 years down the line. They will completely hate it. They will completely be banging their heads against the wall to the point when they are dead. Because let me tell you, this whole thing spins shit. Now, with regards to the shitfest, new lockdown measures, really, and now you got chief medical officers, chief medical experts, when in reality they just paid. I mean, you can hire anyone, you can hire regular Joe to be your expert in terms of quote unquote areas of importance. You can hire anyone to become a expert. Has blamed Gen Z and millennials for going out too much. Really, considering the government's drive past 2 months, has been to get everyone back to work everyone going to local stores, local pubs, local restaurants, eating 50% off. Well, no shit, Sherlock. No shit, Sherlock. If you're going to increase the amount of people that are interacting with each other, you've got to get a natural rise of cases. And they also increase the number of test cases. Testing. So, no shit, Sherlock, you've got to get an increase. And here's the funny bit. I've literally, earlier today, side note, I was reading about how NVIDIA graphics cards are coming out and how they would potentially artificially increase the price of it through artificial scarcity. Now, that might sound a bit different, but the government has, the testing sites has different tests. Some of them one of them say antibody tests, another one's immunity tests, and a few other tests are. There's quite a few tests. Now, do we know what kind of tests that we are being given? And what I think, and this isn't reasonable to think, the reason why we got the increase in infection counts is because they want, and at the same time they had started proposing these legislation laws. I wonder why. You got an increase in the number of infections. Take 2 and 2 and put them together. I wonder why. Now, what I think is that they have another test that can detect. This is public knowledge. In fact, President Tasmania has outright said we're not using a particular test because he tested it on a bunch of lambs, a bunch of sheep, birds, and a car. All of them tested positive for coronavirus. A car. A bloody car tested positive for coronavirus. I'm sorry. What the hell? And no doubt, the government has that no test hidden somewhere. And then when they want a drive-up policy, they just give the good old doctor's ring and say, yes, use that test now, please, thank you. And then put the phone down. When they want to increase the lockdown measures, and this ain't about saving lives. This is power. This is power. They want to see how far they can take it. Just like a mob. Until you say no, they will continuously take it further. You give an inch, they will take a mile. And quite frankly, these whole lockdown measures, what the fuck? I think these are stupid. And the fact that Boris Johnson's getting his marshals at the ready, COVID marshals. Oh, fuck off, Boris Johnson. Fuck off, you fat cunt. Fuck right off. Now, this whole lockdown thing, and what even annoys me is that all the politicians that have been interviewed by the likes of Julie Hartbury at Talk Radio, Matt Hancock in particular, kept on going, well, you know, that's super simplified, it's super simplified. Well, it wasn't law that was the problem, it's the fact that 1 minute you were saying one thing, then the next minute you're saying another, and then next minute you're saying another. You kept on changing. And you kept on saying, well, we want to potentially keep lockdown on the back bench, but we also want to keep lockdown, but we want lockdown. It's all that caused all the confusion, and the fact that you're saying, oh, mask didn't work, no, mandate mask. Fuck off, mate. Fuck off, you Matt Hancock. Go fuck yourself. I had enough. I have had enough of these lockdown measures. And this ain't the one. This is one of the main things that's bothering me. It ain't the last, and certainly ain't the first. The second bit is that they're doing piss poor job. Well, the Conservative government have been done a massive piss poor job of the border situation, and the fact that they are wiping their hands off with the fact that they claim the EU legislation that's prevented us. Well, leave it. Leave it. You've got an 80-seat majority. You've got an 80-seat majority. If you can't get that done with an 8-seat majority, then why the fuck do you have it? Why the fuck do you have it? And the fact that we got records, well, record upon a record upon a record of boats coming, a total 6,000 to come, and then you got the whole problem. Then you got the whole problem with Serco. Yeah. Now you've got the whole problem with Serco, providing that's been provided the government contracts for housing illegal immigrants that came here over boat, getting £40 per week, free dental care, free healthcare, free hotel, free food, free internet, Wi-Fi. Why the fuck? Why the fuck are we giving money to illegal criminals? Criminals. They're criminals. They come here illegally. Oh, God. This is the one thing that frustrates me. The bending of the knee to a leftist, rabid, communist mob. We have seen this over the past... Well, I've seen it for the past 5 years. The redefining of the words illegal, because the word illegal migrant, because we used to call them criminals, but no, we don't. People that come here across the border illegally, we don't call them criminals, we call them illegal migrants, or we call them asylum seekers. They aren't fucking asylum seekers, they come here illegally, and doing something illegally should exempt you from ever being able to apply for asylum status, because you committed a crime. And it's this whole bending of the knee to the leftist mob that's really riled me. That's just completely lost my faith in anything. And the fact that they are allowing various training sessions such as unconscious bias, which is essentially saying that all white people have this unconscious bias against black people. They are unconsciously racist to black people. Fuck off. Fuck right off. And we've seen this whole rhetoric destroy people. I mean, just look at America. Look at America with Black Lives Matter riots. This is all at the blame because of a leftist Marxist communists. And they are Marxists. BLM, Extinction Rebellion, and Antifa, they are all communists, Marxists. Well, Marxists is the best word. They are authoritarians, I hesitate to say terrorists, but particular of Black Lives Matter, I say close to borderline of terrorists, depending on what sect you go on. If you go in America, yeah. Antifa, yeah, they're terrorists. And the fact that the police, the goddamn police are bending a knee to a Marxist organisation that advocates for a racial supremacist group. I mean, what the hell? What the hell? If this unconscious bias results in a racial supremacist group being formed, then you just create a reason for a race war to occur. And quite frankly, we've seen the end result for all race wars. It always ends in bloodshed. It always ends in more suffering than it does good. I mean, we're seeing the whole problems with South America during apartheid. And of course, all the communists, they doing it the way communists. I'll cover communists quickly. The communists lost the class argument. Over the past century, they've been trying to get people to go into a revolution via the class route, where it was the proletariat versus the ultra-rich. That didn't work. We saw the fall of the Soviet Union. That single route was forever forgotten, forever destroyed for any political relevancy. And so what they done was very clever. Instead of it going via class, they now decided to occupy any kind of revolt or revolution, so to speak, around race instead. But both still lead up to the same thing, an authoritarian dictatorship that will quickly see the suffering of millions of people. And would there be equality? No. Everyone will be dragged down to the lowest common denominator. There will be a race. There'll be a group of people that have more rights than others. And that classical saying, some animals are equal, but there's that classic saying, all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. Animal Farm. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. And wait, fucking hell, this is not supposed to be a manual. It's out of 1984. It's not fucking a manual. It is a warning. And yet these leftists have been following through with all this nonsense. And the British government think it's alright to try and appease this group. No. That's why Labour were electorally decimated, because they followed the leftist momentum lot. Now, the fact that police are... I'm not surprised the police are bending the knee, because quite frankly, they've been subject to the... Because quite frankly, they have been infiltrated by communists and Marxists across the whole place. And the fact that it got hate speech laws now, Christ, if it ain't any more blatantly obvious that the police are fucking stupid and are run by authoritarian, psychopathic fuck pigs. Now, I'm sorry, but you're blind. If you can't see that, you're blind. And of course, as a result of that, several things about the police, namely the fact that the CPS, or the Crown Prosecution Service, if there's any police officer that had done something wrong, you'd be surprised on how much convictions there are. You can count it up with a few hands within the past 5 years, because they've run protection for the truly corrupt ones. And so it's like, I'm not surprised that the police are finding it hard to replenish numbers, because most people are seen for what they are. a bunch of incompetent people that who are being run by incompetent, outright subversive police commissioners, police lieutenants. I mean, look at Chris's dick. Look at Chris's dick. The clap for NHS demonstration a few months back. Yeah, I remember that. The BLM riots. Yeah, the failure and the fact that 37 officers were injured. I remember that, and the fact that they run with their tails behind their backs and scurried off while they get beaten. When in reality, that's when you should have got the SWAT team down and start rounding up these fuckers. Now, this country's going down the shitter. I mean, we gotta see the economic fallout very soon. And considering the lockdown's going further, yeah. Expect tax rises of 8%, 9%, maybe even 10%. And then you start seeing jobs evaporate. And let me tell you, this is my birth country. I've lived here for nearly my entire life. Excluding my time spent in Spain for 1 year, in Cyprus for 2 months, I've lived in Britain for over 20 years, well, nearly 20 years. And let me tell you, I hate this country. I hate the way it's been run. I hate how all of the wishes of people are being ignored. And that this whole country is falling into subversion. And the fact that next election is what I fear the most. Because who is there to vote for? You got Labour Party? Hell no. Not under Keir Starmer. No. I would never vote for Keir Starmer. The one that done the draft for the fence-sitting Brexit proposal from Labour, you remember that? Yeah, he was the one that drafted it. And the reason why Labour lost their vote as well. Lib Dems? You kidding me? I will never vote for them. The Greens? Huh? UKIP? They don't exist that much anymore. Ever since the board members of the NAC completely destroyed the party by not letting Gerard Batten run again and preventing what's his name, Richard Bryan, from appointing his people. They gone. Patriotic alternative. No. I would not collaborate with a person that thinks Hitler should be admired. Not Mark Collin. No. Mark Colbert. I can't remember his name. I got to find it. Anyway, the guy that runs it, he doesn't. He admires Hitler. He said that the book that he would run in to get would be Mein Kampf. I'm not going to vote for anyone like that. I'm not going. And I've looked at patriotic alternative, and it's essentially Jew hating. I'm not joking. I've seen a lot of things critical to Jews. I'm not going to vote for them. So, where am I left with? Well, Labour. Yeah, Labour. The only party that's reasonably able to beat Conservatives. You kidding me? No way I would trust Labour, especially if these powers are not revoked, which they won't. They will never be revoked. And any kind of virus, they can declare these emergency powers, and then, whew, any kind of political protest, whew, they can fabricate it out of thin air. And quite frankly, I'm sick. I'm sick of this whole lockdown shit. And quite frankly, within Britain, I've been saying this for the past. I've been saying this to people within my life who I know for the past 3 years. Is that fucking hell, I envy America because they have a bloody president that actually cares about the little people. Donald J. Trump. I was not a fan of Donald J. Trump 4 years ago. Well, 4 and a bit. I thought he was a massive dick. I thought he was stupid. I supported Bernie Sanders. I thought he was brilliant. But then, as over time, I began seeing more and more of him, and I've becoming more politically active, and started reading, and started seeing what Trump was doing and what he was advocating for. I'm all bored. I'm all aboard what he does. Getting US troops out of Afghanistan, even though it is a bit of double-edged sword, because there will be a power vacuum, and I know how power vacuums always end up. Look at Libya. Look at Iraq. Look at Syria, for Christ's sake. And ISIS in particular. But him actually giving tax cuts to the people of America, reducing the bureaucracy, advocating for America first, and only America first in line. Americans are the first one to be taken care of. And the fact that it's been running in a sensible platform, and the fact that he hasn't technically been authoritarian. The lockdown should never happen. Well, there's reasons why lockdown should happen. Reasonable reasons why lockdown should have happened, namely between March and April, when we didn't know anything about it, but now we do. We know what treatment works. We know what this kills and what it doesn't. We know all the statistics. We know that most of the people that have health conditions, and they die of those health conditions, was COVID is somewhat in there. I mean, in fact, in Ireland, there's only 100 deaths associated with COVID on its own. So it's not the pandemic that we thought, and I was taken in. I did not know anything about it, and I thought, and bear in mind, I knew this back in January, so it was already, so I already knew quite a bit about it by then. And the fact that the WHO was lying all the time, and the fact that several places just outright followed it to the guidelines, like, they fucking lied to you. Why on earth take advice from a known liar? But yeah, Trump, he's doing all the right stuff. He's not an insane maniac like everyone ponies up, including my own family members. Some of my family members think he's a fucking idiot. No, he ain't. He's not a fucking idiot. And they all, where they get all their news from? BBC. The fucking BBC. And I always say to them, turn off the BBC, start watching individual reporters. I mean, likes of Tim Pool. He's not a far-right Trump supporter. In fact, he was against Trump for the longest time, and he's mayhaps going to vote for him because of what he's doing with Afghanistan, pulling out troops of Afghanistan. He's a milquetoast fence sitter. He's not a Trump supporter. Same with Adam, who was present along with the Timcast show. He was not a Trump supporter. He was a hippie skateboarder. He's not voting for Trump. And the fact that more people are voting for Trump. So, where's this crazy idiot maniac? I don't see it. Considering that people that said, oh, Trump is an asshole, we should never vote for him, are now saying, I will vote for Trump. My vote will be for Trump. Oh, I can't wait to that. I've noticed this. I've noticed people come out and say, I'm voting for Trump. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm voting for Trump and I'm quite excited for it. How was that the mantra of an idiot? I've seen elections of Tony Blair, Barack Obama, through the past lens, and people on the first row of election, they were overly supportive, but on the second one, they lost that support. Trump hasn't. In fact, it's the reverse. It's gaining more and more support. And the fact that mainstream media have been running a massive smear piece on him. And I look at Meg, I think, fucking hell, you are so fucking lucky. I wish we had that choice here. But we don't. We don't have any party that stands up for liberty. Conservatives? No, they don't conserve everything. They are fucking Tony Blairites. They are not conservative. They are Labour. They are the new Labour of the late 90s to 2000s. They're not conservatives. They're not the Margaret Thatcher conservatives. They are socialists. They are Blairites. And the fact that nobody's even talking about that hate crime legislation, and the fact that it's quite frankly a stain on British history, and the fact that speech can be impeded because of quote unquote you hurt someone's feelings. Well, guess what? Feelings can be hurt. And these same guys that say, oh, you've been offensive to feelings, they say words are violence. No. Words ain't violence. It is the actions you take, not the words you speak. If you physically go up to someone and say, I will punch you right now, that is violent. That will be considered a threatening, an act of threat, because you are performing an action where you walk up, hold your fist in front of the person, and you say, I will punch you. That is violence. Saying, I will punch you, isn't that is saying, I will punch you, that is less of a threat than that. It was just, that was a stupid one, but you sort of get it. You could say, and you could say in a very joking manner, but if you physically went up, that can be easily considered as violence. But if you said as rhetorically or jokingly that I'll punch you, man, this whole thing is stupid. And and the fact that conservatives have been blocking several things. I mean, well, numerous parts of the government and Whitehall Because you got the civil service. They are pro-Labour. They are bureaucrats. They're bloody bureaucrats. I shouldn't say pro-Labour. I should say pro-globalists and pro-bureaucracy. We have massive problems with them as well. And frankly, we have massive problems with border force, and the fact that Serco is making massive dimes of housing criminals. They are not asylum seekers. They are criminals. Wake the fuck up. I had enough of hearing, oh, but these are so sick. Fucking criminals. They are fucking criminals. Speak truth. They are criminals. They come here illegally. They are criminals. If I go to fucking South America without a license, without a visa, and I live there, I'm a fucking criminal. You won't hear anything from them coming to us, wouldn't you? No. It's because this government is fucking all talk. And this is the thing that Trump is, that the Conservative isn't. He doesn't talk the talk. He doesn't just talk the talk. He talks. He takes. This is the thing that Trump is, that the Conservative isn't. He doesn't just talk the talk. He does walk the walk. He acts upon what he talks about. We saw this with the fact that the Israeli embassy, the relocation of the Israeli embassy, that's been delayed since the Reagan era. And then when he acts upon it, everyone goes mad at him. Why? Obama said he would do it. Bill Clinton said he would do it. George W. Reagan. Successive presidents said they would do it. They did not. But then, Trump done it. Craziness. Everyone's mad. The mainstream media goes into massive frenzy. Why? Trump starts detaining people at the border. Craziness. Everything starts going mad. Obama did it to a more bigger extent because he wouldn't deport half of these people. And the fact that the borders weren't even reinforced as well. God, what's that? Which was showing more people coming over. Trump starts detaining them. He gets lambasted as a evil person for separating children, even though Obama done the same. Under Obama it happened. These people are hypocrites. These people do not care about being right. They just want to demonize. They are smear merchants. They deal and peddle in smears. And the Conservative government gets taken in by these. They believe that they have to avoid the smears. Well, when they would wake the fuck up. Ignore these fucking smear merchants. The only power they have over you is the power that you allow them to have over you. When you wake the fuck up and realize that, that is when their power wanes. That is when their own authority over you gets crushed. Just like, and quite frankly, you are no different than slaves if you don't accept it. The slave mind mentality. When you wake the fuck up and realize these people do not dictate what public say, then you realize that then you're more likely to do stuff that the public actually wants. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this fucking country status. And the fact that it's gone down the shitter even further. It ain't looking good. In fact, I can sympathize with many people right now that are feeling pretty shit right now. In fact, many of them taking their lives right now. I can sympathize them. They've been all boozed up on coronavirus fear. Their jobs are, they lost their jobs. They don't know what's going to happen next. They don't know if they get to meet their family. They don't know if they get to meet their children. They don't know if they even go to have food on the table. Many of them will fall into drug use. Many of them will go to criminals. Many of them just can't stand the pain. I know that. My fucking dad has gone mad. He's gone mad. He's fucking depressed all the time now. He was already depressed to begin with, but now it's just fucking hell. This whole thing. This whole problem. Why? Why? Why is this happening? I know why. It's because they're fucking scared. It's because they're fucking scared of they fucking want power, but they create fear. They're fucking socialist. And what do the socialists peddle the most? Fear. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it. Why the fuck am I being told that I must lock down? I could easily, quite frankly, work without human contact for quite a long time. But even I am sick of it. I'm sick to death of hearing this bullshit. Have been for the past end of May, when I looked at all of the statistics and became even more reinforced that we need to open up. The government haven't. They just locked down even further. Fucking idiot. Fucking moronic. And this ain't just me. Quite a lot of my mates think it's absolute shit. They think it's stupid as well. So, why is the government continuing on? It's coming to a point where we are being ruled by decree, not by consent. The rule by decree is essentially where instead of the public consenting, in the same way a king would decree on what would happen without public's consent, and that decree will be based on experts that will say, oh yes, he needs to do that. And the fact that the experts, quite a lot of them, are self-avowed communists. Fucking hell. We should bring back McCarthyism. But let's go in hard, fast, and without lubricant. Let's make sure we stamp out communism wherever it is. Because quite frankly, communism has killed more people than religion has ever done. Although saying that, communism is a religion, but it's puppeteering as a economic plan, as an economic policy. And quite frankly, the sooner we get out of this whole church of wokeness, the better. Right, that's enough for me. I hope you enjoyed the talk, well, my thoughts. But to be honest, I just need to get this off. This will probably be edited slightly, but I'm just going to release it all. And it's quite frustrating. It's quite frustrating, the fact that no one's speaking up for liberty. No one's speaking up for freedom. individual creators are speaking up. The working class people of this country, they're being ignored. And the people that profiting off this, well, they don't care. They don't care. Quite frankly, I think we should bring back, I think we should have, similar to what America has now with the Republican Party, a truly working class breed of political party. But that's a problem. That is a problem. The ones who are more likely to be politically active are the ones who are more likely to have time on their hands, and that's always been the middle and higher classes. Yes. And the fact that many working class often just have to are worrying about the next plate of food on the table for themselves and their children, and often working paycheck to paycheck to just barely on minimum wage. I can see this country completely shattering if any of the things I talked about in terms of economics is implemented. It's fucking depressing state of affairs, ain't it? I really am losing it. It's this sort of stuff that just makes me want to go off into another country and never come back. I'll fucking live in the forest. I'll fucking get a boat, leave this country and say, fuck you, I'm out, I'm never going back, I'll revoke my citizenship and fuck off. I just had enough. I've fucking had enough. Alright. I'll probably do a video Monday. Yeah, probably do Monday. Not sure. Wherever the fuck the country has gone to at that point. Don't know. Because, at this point I think, if a bloody meteor hits Earth now, I'd say that, at least then that'd be fucking amazing. Because I tell you, at least then they will be focused so much more on the meteor than this whole lockdown shit. I'm getting sick of it. Brexit, and now this. 4 years of Brexit. How many years of this fucking COVID-19? How many goddamn more years of this fucking mental torture we gotta endure? How many? Ask that. How many fucking more years of this shit? Guess what? I fucking want it all to be over. And quite frankly, I think I want something to be formed. I want a party to vote for that I know has my interests and has other people, working class, in particular, that have been left out by all the major political parties for about 30 years since Tony Blair. To finally get a chance to actually have someone talking about them and actually acting. I want a fucking action Prime Minister. I want a Prime Minister that's not all talk and all fear-mongering and is completely dictated by the media, but doesn't just do the talk, he does the walk. Sane economic rationality. Doesn't get driven into fear-mongering. A clear-cut vision of a free and liberal society. The removal of all hate speech legislation. Hell, if he promises to vote in a constitution that prevents the government, similarly to the American Constitution, which is why I fucking love America. I I fucking wish we had the Constitution. First, second, First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, amendments. They were all fucking sane. They are what we need in Britain. Of course, my family think we fucking don't. We fucking don't. I tell ya, this whole country would be much more sane if we did have that. Because look where we are right now. But yeah, that's what I just want. A Prime Minister that is fucking sane. That actually doesn't talk the talk, but walks the walk. And, as I said, rational, more around towards capitalist thought, laissez-faire slight laissez-faire, reducing bureaucracy, streamlining government completely, cutting down welfare, cutting down taxes even more so, make it easier to conduct a business as well. If a Prime Minister, if a party comes along with that platform, they will have my vote. Even more so if that particular leader puts his neck on the line completely. I will vote for him. I will vote for that person. I don't care who he is. I don't care what skin colour he is. I don't care what ethnicity he is. I don't care what kind of gender it is. Who this imaginary person could be. I don't care. As long as he walks the walk. Because quite frankly we had enough politicians talk the talk and then in the next breath fuck off to do something else. Sick. I'm very sick of this shit. And quite frankly, I'm fucking envious of my family members living in America. Because at least then they don't have to listen to all the bullshit and lockdown measures that's been imposed here. At least then they got sanity. But it depends. I mean, they live in Chicago, but at least they're somewhat better. Somewhat. But yeah. Anyway, that's enough for me. Like I said, I will upload a video probably Sunday. Well, I'm recording right now, so Sunday today, 2 o'clock. So probably when this goes live, maybe upload it later on today or tomorrow. Not sure. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and just hearing my concerns and the fact that my thoughts on this whole state of affairs. Anyway, that's enough before I go on anymore. This is Jay Lit. This is Vex Tascar signing off. Hope you have a nice day.